Okay guys, so now let's get into the drop shot, or as Pat McEnroe says, the dropper, right? Such a great play. At the French Open, they used it. Did you watch the French Open this year, Mike?
A little bit.
They, especially Djokovic, I mean, I know he lost in the finals, but guys, he made it to the finals. He used a drop shot so amazingly at the tournament. And it can totally throw your opponent off. You also want to pay attention to court position. You want it, a lot of times the best time to use it is after a really good shot, and you get to move inside the court a little bit. One thing you don't want to do is, although I know Djokovic did it a couple of times, but we are not Djokovic, you don't want to be hitting from way back here. If you're in the blue, that's a pretty good sign. That's a no-no. If you watch my system 5, you want to be in area 3 or 2. It's a good time to hit that drop shot. Okay, there's a couple of ways we can hit it. We can hit it across court, we can hit it down the line. Federer has one where he likes to hit it and has it go off the court. So now they're not really running forward, now they're off the court. So we'll show you that one too. It's a little sidewinder drop shot. But the first one we're going to do, just a nice feathery drop shot. This actually takes a lot of skill to do. One of the things you want to make sure you're doing is opening the frame more. You should be holding the racket pretty light. Okay? And it's a nice relaxed, and you want to feel like you're barely touching the ball. Okay? Barely touching the ball, and you need some height on it. That's another thing. You do need height on the drop shot. I think lots of times people just try and get it just over the net. You're going to see these balls are actually going to clear the net by a good amount. It's a fine line between being too high and too low, though. Okay, guys, so here comes some drop shots. I'm really light in the hands. It's a very light in the hands motion. Now look at that one, guys. That's what you want. So you notice I got a lot of height, but it's just fine on the other side. And if I can get that ball to bounce more than a couple of times, that one's a close one, more than a couple of times in that box, there you go, that's perfect. Look at that, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what your goal is. You gotta decide if it's too high. Like if I'm playing that and I'm playing someone really fast, I might go, I gotta hit a little lower over the net. That's still too high. So just a little lower. So that would be a really good one. How do I get that lower? If your ball's going too high, typically you're waiting too long, so go ahead, feed it. Notice how I let this ball come to me and then I hit the drop shot. Very good drop shot there. But if I want to keep it lower, typically what you do is you go to the ball more. That was almost there. That was a heartbreaker. So if you want to go lower, go to it more. You'll get more of a punch through it. You want to get more of a floaty drop shot. You kind of wait for it to come into you. Okay? So Mike, you want to try some?
Sure.
Okay, it's a tough shot, guys. All right, so here goes Mike. He's going to go for that little dropper. Good. That's a great drop shot. Ready? Good. Almost. That's a nice shot. Maybe a little too much. You don't want it to go through the court too much. That is sweet. Look at that. Mike, you're a natural at this. Good. A little too far. You want to see if you can get that thing to drop. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is perfect. Here, one more. That's a little too. Do you feel how sometimes you're catching too much of the string?
Yep.
So it's a very light. You're really trying to catch the ball on the string. Oh, that would have been. See, sometimes your best drop shots don't go over the net. That was a sweet, sweet one. So you can get that nice little feel again. Very. That's. Well, he's totally getting the idea. It's a very delicate shot, guys. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mike, you're getting better at this shot than me. Okay. So that is pretty good. So tell me, when you did it well, what did it feel like?
It felt like you're just just barely cutting the ball, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of pressure against the racket from the ball. Unlike when you hit the sweet spot on a really good, you feel that good resistance, but it's just a little, a little chip, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe it's like taking the ball out of a sand trap or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played golf, but Well, here's a couple of things you guys can do at home to kind of get the feeling of it. Number one is you could just kind of take your ball and have a little self-rally with you like this. See that? And then you'll start to get, because you need that little backspin on it, you see. Another thing you can do is, and this will help with your forehand back, is just kind of do that. Is just practicing catching the ball on your strings, throwing the ball up and kind of sliding under it and see if you can catch it. That'll just give you that nice light feeling. And this down the line drop shot is probably the toughest one, okay? It's really delicate. We're gonna do a couple other ones now that look really cool but are actually easier.
Okay.
Okay?